Hey, greetings, family. Greetings, your girl Geneva here. Um, Coming to you today because I was going. Last time I did a video when I was talking about the lack of commitment of our people. Um, I was talking about. I mentioned this organization go by the name of Decarcerate Louisiana. And I was talking about what they're doing behind the scenes in regards to them being behind the walls and what they're doing in regards to the movement to try to get out, to end mass incarceration, to end a form of genocide. So, what I was going to do is I was going to interview one of the brothers who's from behind the walls, who are going to, speak on Decarcerate Louisiana, tell us about the organization itself, exactly what they're going to be doing, what the organization is all about, what they're seeking, as far as peep volunteers, donations, all the above. So. I'm just trying to wait for the brother to come on now. Excuse, he will have his face covered. Excuse that. Obviously, we know it's because he's behind the walls here, and we know that they are targeted, they're watched, follow all the above to what they deal with and what they're plagued with, and, in regards to the lack of freedom that they have being behind the walls, we understand the the trouble that he may be getting himself into with showing his face, showcasing his face. So that's going to be blocked off. But one thing he's going to be doing is just nobody, I feel, though, personally can speak more about the organization than somebody who's actually in it, somebody who's a part of it, somebody who's a part of running it, and somebody who's actually enduring, one of the form of genocide that we face, which is mass incarceration. So I'm waiting for the brother now to come through so I can get it started, the interview started, and he can start, informing the people and informing, all of us and everybody who's watching, about this organization. So I know certain things that, what I was learning about the movement itself was it was things that they were talking about, that they were trying to abolish slavery, which we believe that's what the whole new Jim Crow and what mass incarceration is the new form of slavery here, and new form of should tell slavery here. So this is something that we have to abolish and we have to end in regards to that. So I'm going to, and I think he just joined. So I'm going to be inviting him now to bring him on camera so he can get speaking on, the Decarcerate Louisiana. Now, brother, I see you. I see you. You see me?
Hey,
Okay, you might want to cover up your face
yeah, I
a little
see.
bit. Okay.
I thought you said you was gonna wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, I was, but then I decided to just, just go ahead with it. So I got people watching. I told them that your face was going to be covered, just to, give them a heads up to let them know that, obviously
Look,
there's a reason. Sorry.
hold on,
Okay. Okay.
hold on, Janine.
Okay. Okay. Well, as you can see, the brother is behind the walls. So, we got to deal with that as well. Come in, you know, uh, earlier the warden had stopped you earlier when I was talking to the brother. So, sometimes on hold, put me on pause for a second and, kind of stay on mute, be quiet, while I handle things in the back. So, trying to do this interview while he's, hemmed up, in the situation that he's in now. And just trying to get him to speak on, at least speak on, this organization, this movement that's going on right now, and it's happening with our prisoners. So, and, he's one of them. He's going to, inform the people exactly what the movement is about. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to, gain? What kind of support that they're looking for, what kind of support they're seeking.
Okay,
So, and go.
I'm on.
Okay. You might want to cover up your face.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, just one.
Okay. All right. Just, it's for his protection. So take care of that. But something that I think that we all should be interested in, we all should be a part of. I mean, we speak on, the genocide, we speak on mass incarceration, we speak on ending that, we speak on how we're easily targeted, we're always targeted for that, for private prisons. So we speak on that, we are profitable slaves for them. So this is a way for us to, kind of fight back, and combat that. So, and here it is where we can work, together, hand in hand, and we can work with the prison, and we can, talk to them and get a feel for what they're dealing with, what they're going through, behind closed doors, behind the walls. And it's a lot of them that are innocently, it's all the above. So this is what we can focus on right now. We can figure out, people can, people can get introduced to this movement, into what this organization is about. And if it appeals to you, great. If it's something that you see that you want to join and be a part of, great. Through the barrier. This is what we want. We want to get the word out there. If it appeals to you to where you just want to get the word out there and tell others about, if there's something that they're interested in, something that they want to do, if they have a loved one, somebody who's behind the walls right now, and it was victim and was railroaded, or anything, that's innocent. Let's stand behind. Let's get behind it. Let's get behind this movement. Let's support it. Sorry, it's happening in Louisiana, but it's trying to go, statewide here. It's money, in every state, everywhere in this entire country. So, and that's what we want, globally, if that was possible. So, obviously you can hear him talking in the background, but I like to get it started, sometime soon, so he can get the speaker on. But we can't hold people's attention too long, certain attention span here. But I just want people to just know, have an idea of what it is about, and let's just yeah. Okay, I see you.
Hey, how that look? That looks straight? Oh, no,
Okay.
No, I don't look straight. They can tell my face. How? What you think?
Yeah, I think he's trying to cover it up more or whatever. Because I mean, this is for his safety. So, this is something that's anti the government, anti the system. And that's what we want to be. As revolutionaries, RBG, Black Power, Black Empowerment, liberating revolutionaries. That's what we are. We're anti this system because we know how this system does us. So, and I'm for anything that is, going against, because the system is about to put us entrapped here. So, and we got to free ourselves. We got to free ourselves from these chains. So, that's it. Hey, brother, you ready? I don't want to say his name either. I think about that as well. Like I said, talk about a safety thing. So I don't want to mention any names. This is why we call it Decarcerate Louisiana. Because it's in Louisiana, and it has to do with people who are, incarcerated. But we're trying to decarcerate. So, trying to free the incarcerated. The innocent, the incarcerated. Yes. Yes, peace, brother. I can hear you too.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So.
Okay, well,
hold on.
Okay. Okay, well.
Hold on.
Okay. This must be it. Sometimes when he tells me to hold on, somebody must came in. somebody might be coming through, maybe a guard or something like that. So this is why we're trying to figure out a good time to do the interview, because we know that he deals with this, and you never know when they're going to be coming past, coming through, whatever, all the above. So what did you say? We cannot free ourselves unless we are free mentally. That can trigger others' awakening. I agree with that. You're right. And it does start mentally. And a lot of us are trapped there too, even if we're not behind bars, even if we're not behind the walls. We still in the prison because, like you said, we're in the prison of our mind. But, I would hope that if we can, this is the point of us trying to wake up and get conscious. That's why we speak on that, trying to wake up our people. Be here for that. Something I like, that one song that be on Sinetta's channel that he used to play, where he used to be like, I'm here to wake up the people. I'm here to wake up the people. Knowledge to the brain, knowledge to the brain. Like, you know what I mean? And I love that, because I was just like, true. That's what we're supposed to be here for, to wake up our people. Put that knowledge to the brain. So if we're doing that, then we're freeing ourselves. We're freeing ourselves mentally, so we can start freeing ourselves physically, so we can get there and start helping our other brothers and sisters and trying to free them physically, free, and free others ones who might be. This is the importance of getting conscious. And this is why we speak on, the importance of that, and why it always starts there. It always starts with us getting conscious and waking up, getting woke. So, oh, I think he left. Oh, I think the brother left. I don't see him no more. Oh, God, I think the brother left. Well, I wanted to, interview. I guess it might be tight in regards to what's going on. Maybe a guard came in. I don't know. But I wanted to, we had plans to do the interview today, and obviously, I can't help I can't help the conflict or whatever's going on over there. I don't know. I'm not there. But I wanted to just get somebody, I wanted to get the brother that I've been talking to and I've been dealing with, to speak on it, because I feel as though it comes better when it's coming straight from the horse's mouth, straight from somebody who's actually enduring it, somebody who's dealing with it, somebody who's going through it, and people want to hear from that. And then for two, it has to do with the brother, like he's completely emerged in this movement. So, you know what I mean? He's one of the persons who's kind of running it, or at least one of the people who's, behind the bars, who's running it, besides the people who's on the outskirts, who's on the outside, who's helping out. So this is what it is, and we're kind of working together. I keep trying to bring him back on. I keep sending him an invite, but he's not accepting it. So I think the reason he's not accepting it is because I think he's not available right now. So I can't get him. I can't get in touch with him. You said, Donald Reeves, Goddesses Howard, don't let them pull nothing on you. I&R won't bluff. All right, peace, brother. You said we need to form small packs and build this can trigger something greater. Yeah, definitely. Definitely agree with that. This, 100%. This is what it takes. This is why what he's just doing in Louisiana, and here I'm in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And it's reaching me out here. So it'll be statewide, because we're reaching statewide. But they do have something small that they started in Louisiana. And if we can get this other places, like if we can get this in every state with something small, to where it could be like Decarcerate, whatever you are. So like, let's say he got Louisiana because they're going by their state. I'm in Georgia, Decarcerate Georgia, Decarcerate New York, Decarcerate Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Like if we can get that, Decarcerate, Nebraska, like, Oklahoma, like no matter where, if we can get this everywhere, you know what I mean? This is how we can continue to build those small packs and get it out here. So you said, oh, you in Georgia? Oh, okay, all right, sis. Yeah, definitely. So I'm trying to do my part out here, handing flyers out in school, things like that, talking to other people about it, speaking to people, telling them about, what they can seek. You can help out with donations. Of course, they need that. You can help out with being a volunteer, helping out, passing flyers, informing people about the organization, telling them all about it, trying to get people on board, forwarding them to their Instagram page, to their Facebook, to their Twitter, to their website, because they're getting so much stuff out there, especially with social media. We know how powerful social media is. We know how powerful word of mouth is. So if we can just get that out there by word of mouth, and we can get it out there on social media and just share it, share the posts, listen to the blogs that they do. I think they do interviews every Monday on Blog Talk. I think I got to share it on my Facebook where you can tune in, listen to the conference call. They do it every Monday. So, if we can just do that and just, tune in and listen and share the posts and, all the above and speak on it and try to be volunteers. And, this is how we can gain some tracking and get this movement, get the momentum behind this movement and get it going to where, we can invoke some sort of change. I mean, that's the point of it. We want to invoke some sort of change here. We want to free, we want to liberate. So if we can liberate, if we can get some form of liberation, then we won. You know what I mean? So we're being successful because this is what we want. So we want liberation regardless of where we at, regardless if we're on the outside or we're in the end. So, and I still keep trying to call the brother. I still keep trying to add him, but I think that he might have had to sign out. Something must have went down. Maybe a guard came in or whatever. So, okay, here we go. The bill from there. Okay, small facts about ourselves. I can agree with that. Yes, with the ones who conscious already, the ones who's woke sis already and already know, and then we can build and try to, wake up others together, things like that. I can agree with that.
They
Economically,
be
yeah,
looking for me.
exactly, and stop working for them, yeah. But build up our own businesses and employ our own. It's not just about building up our own businesses, but employing our own. That's how we give back. So, and we definitely want to keep it in the family and we in the bloodline. And we definitely want to employ, other people of our culture, and build from there. So we
Okay.
definitely want to be about it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I just broke in. I was telling people about, Decarcerate Louisiana, and I just want you to go in about it. I just want you to tell us what is Decarcerate Louisiana? What is this movement? What is it about? What exactly what are y'all doing? What are you seeking, in this movement? So I just want you to just kind of just give us some background information on the movement, and tell us how long y'all been doing it, the people, just a little information, for the people who might be seeking to actually join.
All right. Greetings, fellow humans. I'm a social change
Greetings.
organizer and freedom fighter and revolutionary for Decarcerate Louisiana. I'm currently incarcerated in the Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola Prison in Louisiana.
Speak up a little bit.
Okay. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm currently incarcerated in the Louisiana.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I am currently incarcerated in the Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola, and we are currently organizing to oppose the new system of slavery in America. Decarcerate Louisiana is an anti-slavery movement. We are abolitionists. Hold on.
Okay.
They finna count again.
Okay. Do you just want to end it? Okay, they fit in the count again. I mean, if anybody who's watching been behind bars, y'all know what it is like there. You know what it was like. You've been there, you've been in it. Anybody, who's dealing with loved ones behind, I'm pretty sure they told you stories and everything. So you kind of have an idea of what they're going through, you know what I mean, and how it is. So yes, very sad. So I'm just trying, ask everybody else to be patient, to understand what's happening. I mean, that's appreciative of what the brother is doing, appreciative of the fact that, he's even, putting himself out there. He's willing to put himself out there. He's willing to come out here on camera, risk everything, risk his freedom, all the above, to come out here on camera to tell us about, this movement that, he's a part of. He's a part of pushing. So it's what we want. So I definitely want to do the interview. I'm trying to figure out if I should wait for another time to do it. Where, we might have a little bit more freedom where we could just go in, versus right now. I'm just wondering if I should just end it and then come again and do the interview and bring him on and let him, kind of just go in. Um, yeah, because he had to hang up and he can't go live with me right now because they about to do a count. So I think I should just end it. I don't really, I I don't really know why he's actually there. I don't really get into asking, certain things about because I don't know if people want to, you know, reveal that. So I try not to like ask those certain questions. You know what I mean? But if when I interview him, I'll ask him and I'll see what he says and see what he say about it. He might not have an issue with that. Um, but you say you're an ex-prisoner in Oklahoma. What you say? Oklahoma, how can build support? Yeah, see, and that's what I want him to be able to speak on. I know you can look it up. I know Decarcerate Louisiana is on Facebook. I got certain things posted on my Facebook page where you can have an idea of how to get in touch with them. I want to hit him up, but I don't know. He every time I click it, it say that he's not available right now. Okay, you say everybody has their different passions of helping for people. For our brothers and sisters from adjusting others, kids, others, drugs, etc. Mine is helping the kids. We can all take our passions, move up on that, then come together as one to build our nation. Peace. Peace, Charles Lee Ray.
Okay, I'm on. I'm back on.
Oh, you ready? Okay. Well, go ahead. The floor is yours, brother. And you have a brother. You have a somebody in the chat, Peter, who wants to know how can he join? How can he be a part? So go in on that as well. But just feel free. Just feel free to speak on that as well.
All right. So can I go ahead and
Okay.
speak?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Decarcerate Louisiana is an anti-slavery organization. We're abolitionists. We oppose the growing reliance on prisons to solve social problems. Again, I'm currently incarcerated at the Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola. Our organizing is basically a, a resistance against the new forced labor system in this country. And right now, we're we're preparing for the August national prison strike ahead that begins on August 21st through September 9th. And so the movement is basically a, 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 a rebellion, a resistance against this new forced labor system. And slavery has never been abolished in the United States. It has basically transformed into what we call today the American criminal justice system. And what we see how this have evolved. First, we have to understand it. We have to understand the evolution of slavery. Okay, first we had cattle slavery, and we know that cattle slavery started in the 1600s and ended with the Civil War. Okay, right after the Civil War, there was what you call convict leasing. This started in 1867 and lasted all the way up to 1941. Now, this system of convict leasing was a practice called peonage. What happened was Southern plantation owners, judges, sheriffs had gotten together and created a system to where, as well as public officials, to segregate African Americans. And so by segregating us, they was able to target us, like what we call today racial profiling. But at this time in 1867, between 1941, what they did was it was laws that they call, well, a lot of historians call it black codes. And what they did was, whenever they caught a black person talking loud in public places or gambling or looking at a white woman the wrong way, petty stuff like that, or sometimes they would just, if you was just caught out at night at a certain time, they would apprehend you and take you before a judge and charge you with a crime. And the sheriffs, again, was already, and the judges was already part of this plan to re-enslave African Americans. So they would take the defendant, they would set the bail at a price that they knew that the black defendant couldn't afford. And of course, the black defendant didn't have any money to post bond. So an owner of a railroad company or a mining company or some farmer would step up on behalf of the black defendant and pay his bond in exchange for the black defendant agreeing to work for the railroad company or a mining company or the farmer or some other industry for X amount of years. This went on from almost 70 years, again, from 1867 all the way to 1941. Now, what made the federal government start investigating this was because the United States needed black people, African Americans, to fight in World War II. So Frederick FDR or Franklin Delano Roosevelt tapped the United States Department of Justice head Francis Biddle and sent him to the South to investigate slavery. So so it was Louisiana that was practicing convict leasing. It was Georgia. It was Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and a few more other southern states. So a series of indictments was issued against the whole practice. And so eventually convict leasing, another form of slavery, and they did away with that. Now, the thing to understand is that the 13th Amendment, which was passed to abolish slavery, really didn't abolish slavery. The 13th Amendment reads that, says in part, that slavery is abolished except for a commission of a crime. So if a person has been caught and convicted of a crime, then they can get put back in slavery. So the 13th Amendment was like, it served as a loophole, and it gave Southern plantation owners and everybody that derived profits and wealth from slavery, it allowed them to be able to continue slavery, but only this time in a different way. You see? So So um, again, this practice was declared unconstitutional, and 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 so they had to get rid of that form of slavery. Okay, so now we in the third phase of slavery, which is the Department of Corrections, the prison system we have today. And the 13th, even though convict leasing was ruled inhumane, it was declared unconstitutional and another form of slavery. The 13th Amendment wasn't outlawed. That remained the law of the land. So when convict leasing was ruled unconstitutional, the 13th Amendment was still on the books. So again, it gave the slave traffickers a hold on.
Okay, so he's just giving us some history, and some history in regards to, slavery, in regards to, how it's kind of formed over into regards to like to the prison, how it's still slavery, how it's still, them dealing with under the 13th Amendment, and why that needs to be abolished. So just trying to give us some history and background in regards to what they're doing today, and what they're doing today from where it stems from and when it stems, to what they're trying to do today in regards to ending. So, and that's where the whole Decarcerate Louisiana is going to come in. So, I know I just wanted him to be able to just, speak on a little bit more about, so just so people can have an understanding of exactly what the movement is about, what the organization is about, what exactly that they're doing and how they're going about doing it. So it's more political, and I think that that is something that needs to be pursued, especially if you want to end a certain, amendment, if you want to end a certain form of, if you genocide, like if you want to end the actual incarceration, I think, or the bias, the injustice, the unfair treatment, the inequality, I think that you do have to go a political route. So this is why he's trying to give you, the history of slavery, and the history of, from the difference between the chattel and the prison and wage. So where it's really kind of, you know, similar. So, and then I guess he'll go more into about what Decarcerate Louisiana is doing and what they're doing, personally to end this. So, or to liberate. So, we just got to be patient because, like I said, since he's behind bars, it's hard for us to, like, so who's coming through or whatever. Oh, and he fell out again. So, see, it's a lot right now. It's a lot going on. Maybe guards came through. I don't know, but he fell out again. So, hopefully, he comes back in. We'll be patient and wait. Hopefully, he comes back in where I can bring him back on camera. But right now, that's what the problem. That's what we seem to be dealing with right now. So, I thank everybody for their patience. Thank you for, staying in tune, staying in touch. I'm pretty sure people who are, you definitely must be interested in supporting. So, which is great. And I think what the brother Charles said, that he said he's going to support, even if it's $1, it means something. Yes, it does. Thank you. Peace, brother. Much love to you. I think he said he's also going to support by speaking on it. And I think that's the most powerful thing that you can do is spread the word, spread the message. So as long as you do that, long live, you're right, long live the revolution, and long live the prisoners' revolution. So this is where we at. So hopefully he comes back through, comes back on, and I can bring him back on. protracted struggle. Yeah. And you have a lot of ideas in that area, do you? Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me see if I can bring them back on. So, he can just go in more about it. Uh, okay, here we are. Can you hear me? Huh? Yeah, now I can. Kind of going in and out a little bit. Can you see me? Can you see me? Huh? It keep cutting in and out. It's cutting in and out. Okay, hello? Hey, you there? Say something. Say something. Are you saying something? Okay. Then it must be stuck or something. Because you say I'm not moving, and I am moving. I see myself moving. It must be stuck. Because I'm moving, I see myself moving. Now you're stuck. Now you're stuck. It's just stuck. Can you hear me? It's just stuck right now. He might have cut out again. Yeah, he did cut out again. All righty. I'm just trying to figure out, is this trying to tell us something? Should we do this another day? When we can finish going in about it, because I do want to get this out there. I do want to get the information out there. I did say I do have some of it on my Facebook page already, so if you want to go to it and share publicly. But I do like to get his message out there and get the information out there and get the movement out there. So people want to be a supporter of it or they want to join it, you know. Or if you know anybody, like I said, if you have a friend or a loved one or somebody who's behind bars and probably want to do something similar in their own state, you can have them even look it up. So, you know what I mean? So this is why I think it's such important. It's so important to get this message out there. So I'm trying to work on that. And I think it's very, very important to get it out there. So hoping that I can reach him. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I thank you for your patience and everything, but I'm sorry that technical difficulties we have, and now we're having that. So, yeah, thinking that we might have to end it and start again, start anew, start afresh, start from scratch. Yeah, he just messaged me and said his signal is bad. So I think I'm just going to end it. I'm just go ahead and end the live stream. and then maybe we can. I mean, people, you have an idea of what it is or what it's about. So the next time that we do the interview, we'll just go right in on it because he can't connect. He said his signal is bad. He's having trouble connecting. He said it's not connecting, so that means he can't get back on Facebook. So who knows what's going on? I mean, don't call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm always somebody who's just like, you never know. So I was like, who knows who's messing up this connection?
Geneva.
But
Geneva.
yes, yes.
Geneva. It just come back in. My signal just come back in.
Okay, well, cover your face because we still live.
Okay. Um. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Sorry about that, sister. My signal had gone bad for a little while, and then see at this time of the day they be counting,
Thank you,
and
Charles.
sometimes they have to recount. They have to recount, and so that's what the problem was. But I'm back
Okay.
now. So
Well, just pick up where
okay,
you left off. Pick up where you left off.
okay, all right. So all right, I was talking about the evolution of slavery so that people can understand Decarcerate Louisiana, and not only Decarcerate Louisiana, but Decarcerate um, New Jersey, Decarcerate PA, the Free Alabama movement, Amend the 13th, the movement to amend the 13th to abolish legal slavery in America. And it's important for people outside to understand the evolution of slavery and how we went from chattel slavery to convict leasing, which was another form of slavery, and now the prison system, which is a third phase of slavery. So it's important to understand that history and so that so that people can understand the forced labor system today known as the Department of Corrections. So again, as I was saying, okay, we saw the second phase of slavery picking up right after the Civil War from 1867 all the way to 1941. So the, the federal government, because they needed blacks to fight in World War II, Frederick Franklin Delano Roosevelt had tapped the U.S. Department of Justice to go in the southern states and investigate slavery. And so a series of indictments was issued, and they wound up breaking up the second form of slavery, which they was calling peonage or convict leasing. But at some point, they called it what it was and what it is, slavery by another name. Okay, so again, the 13th Amendment is what allowed the system of slavery to be protected. You see, so now we in a third phase of slavery, and this is and for those of us that are aware or not aware, it picked up right after World War II, the second phase of slavery.
Cup. Wow. It cut out again. The internet connection must be really bad. Oh, I can't believe it cut out again, family. Like we've been dealing with this the whole time, you know, besides with the guards coming in and things like that. So keep cutting out, cutting out, cutting out. So try fixing this. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just wondering if I should just go ahead and end it. It's just too many times that they keep cutting in and out. I don't want to keep holding up people's time, trying to do this interview. I understand if y'all busy, y'all got things to do. So
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I guess the internet it keeps cutting you out. You keep getting cut out.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I guess your internet connection. I'm not sure.
All right. Can you hear me now though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, this stuff is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you want me to go ahead and pick back up?
yeah. Go ahead and finish it. If it cuts out again, I'm just going to go ahead and end it,
All right.
and then we'll
Okay.
just
So
pick it up another day, and we'll just go in straight from where we left off at.
we might have to even wind up starting all over because I would like to try to pick a time to where we could just go straight through without all the cutting off. But let me try to pick up and see. So all right.
Okay.
As I was saying, all right, we in the third phase of slavery right now, and it started. The second phase started with Barry Goldwater and George Wallace pushing a get tough on crime movement, and and with 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 Martin Luther King's assassination and the persecution of the Black Panthers, the Get Tough Crime movement has had a lot of success. And so Nixon picked picked up picked up on that and went all the way to the White House with that Get Tough on Crime philosophy and began to send the local governments and the states resources and funding to for more law enforcement and jail and prison construction. But prior to him doing that, when King was on the scene, and we had the Civil Rights Movement, we had the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the Students for Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, the Students for Democratic Society, and they had put pressure on Lyndon Baines Johnson administration to 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 find out what the problem was, what was the cause of the domestic violence and the crime that was erupting in the cities at that time. And the Kerner Commission came back with reports connecting the domestic violence and crime to poverty, and to a lack of educational and economic resources, economic opportunities and stuff for people to sustain themselves. But all that wind up, well, let me put it this way. Lyndon Baines Johnson created the Great Society, and he began to send the local governments and the states resources so as to help people to cope with poverty, to cope with hardship, and to have some measure of relief to provide uh, um, for themselves, So with the assassination of Martin Luther King and the persecution of the Black Panthers, the people on the right wing was able to take the spotlight. They was able to take control over issues of crime and justice and how to deal with it. And so again, Nixon, when he got elected president of the United States, he sent the local government and the state government resources to build more jails and prisons and the police departments and stuff where they can have more equipment and stuff to deal with crime. And so Reagan come along and he took up that agenda and he began and to also give the local government and states more resources to build jails and prisons. Bush did the same thing, and Clinton did the same thing. And so we saw the prison populations expand from like, a couple of 100,000. I'm sorry, a couple hundred people. Well, let's say 500,000 Americans behind bars in 1980 to 2.1 million, and then 2.3, and now we're at something like 2.4 million Americans behind bars. Well, Decarcerate Louisiana, we take the position that put more money into law enforcement and jail and prisons. That's not the way to solve crime. We we picking up we picking up from where King left off at, where the Christian Leadership Conference, Malcolm X, the Black Panthers. We believe that the best way to fight crime is to invest in higher education, to invest in economic development and job training programs, to invest in workshops where people can be connected, and learning various, trades and life skills to be able to start their own businesses and things of that nature. So that's how you solve crime, you know, by connecting people, you know. So we don't now it's now when we talking about, we're not talking about the crimes that rich people commit. We're talking about the crimes that poor people commit, poor black, brown, and white people commit in these impoverished environments. You see, and so, and it was it was studies. It's helpful to know studies like in criminology, that, like, for instance, criminologist Eli Curry, she's a criminologist, and in one year she studied two neighborhoods, and both of them was the same name, Highland Park. One was a wealthy suburb in Chicago, and the other one was an impoverished environment in Detroit. And within a given year, the wealthy Highland Park had no murders, I believe one rape, maybe I want to say no robberies. Everything was real low. But in the impoverished environment in Detroit, the same name, Highland Park, everything was high. You had like 500 and something rapes. You had 796 robberies. Everything dealing with crime was real high. But she was showing how when people are not connected, when there's a lack of educational economic opportunities, it creates desperation, it creates hardship, and people become desperate, and they, do anything to cope, whereas in the wealthy suburb in Chicago, people had resources, people was more connected, they had support systems and stuff. So that's what we're promoting. We are against prisons and relying on prisons to solve social problems, because that's what crime, the inner city urban crime that we see, whether it's gang related crime or drug related crime, that's what it's about. It's about a lack of resources. It's about a lack of educational opportunities for individuals, families, and communities to sustain themselves. And when we don't have those resources, when we're not connected, we deteriorate and we become ghettos. And so our organizing, our organizing, our organizing is resistance and a protest, a rebellion against the new forced labor system, because that's all what it was. It's the Department of Corrections, the criminal justice system is a scheme, to continue slavery by another name, and so that's what we're about, and 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 we want education, we want help, we don't want to help the system continue to profit off of our supporters on the outside. You know, I mean, if this society is smart enough to where if a TV breaks or a computer breaks or a cell phone breaks, you know, our scientific mind kicks in and we want to think about how can we fix the computer, how can we fix the cell phone, how can we fix the microwave before we throw it away. You see? So, you know, and so why can't we do that with human beings? You know, when, you know, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. When a human being makes a poor choice, a wrong decision, why can't we get some of our best scientists, some of our brilliant scientists to investigate what happened, the causes and effects? Why did he, you know, he or she go down this road? I mean, we do it in medicine. When we trying to figure out diseases, we want to know where these diseases come from. You see, so if we that smart enough as a society, you know, to fix broken computers and stoves, then sure, we intelligent enough to be able to fix human beings. You know, so you know, that's why we oppose slavery and the growing reliance on prisons to solve social problems, because crime is a social problem. The domestic violence we have, the drug problem we have, you know, whether people is consuming it or using it, it's a social problem. And we think that the best way to solve that is to invest in people. You see, we spend billions of dollars on the military, billions of dollars. And that's one of the reasons why King was protesting the Vietnam War, because so much money was being spent in the military, whereas our people back home, the communities back at home, was suffering, was being neglected. So let's invest in the communities. Let's invest in people. We want to solve crime. Let's invest. That's how you solve crime. That's how you fight crime. You invest. You invest in people.
True.
So you know, it's you know, you take a walk through these prison systems, and you look in the dormitories and cell blocks. You can count the white people on your hands. You can count them, and you see a mass majority of people of color. You know, so that philosophy that they tell us, if you can't do the crime, I'm sorry, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's just propaganda. That's just something that they want black people to believe. White people don't believe that, because if they did, why not? When you walk through the prison system in this country, in the dormitories and cell blocks, why don't you see a lot of white people? You can count them on your hands. You see? So they don't believe in that crap. They want black people to believe in that. You know, they want us to believe in that. They want us to not have mercy and compassion on one another. You know, because they wanna exploit us. You know, the JPays that our family members send us, when they send money to our account, put money on our books, we have to buy with white contractors. You know, that money is being spent in a prison commissary and canteen to go to these white contractors. You see, that's all it's about. You know, whenever we get sick or something like that, that goes to these white people, you know, these white medical contractors and stuff. You know, so they making millions of dollars off us. Millions of dollars.
Wow.
So you know, it's you know, we see the forced labor system. We see, you know, all the prison system is right now today is a re-enslavement of black, brown, and poor white people. That's all it is. You know, and the 13th Amendment gave them, it served to plantation owners as a loophole. They was able to go back to the drawing board and figure out how can we put them back in slavery again. And they got some of their best minds. They psychologists, they criminologists, they sociologists, they lawyers, they political scientists, and they figure out a way, you know, how to make people desperate, you know. and how to push people on the edge. And scientists know how to do it. Our scientists are smart. They done studies on monkeys and rats. They didn't put monkeys in control groups, and they didn't put other monkeys in different control groups. So some of those control groups, they allow the monkeys to have easy access to assemblies, to recreation, to food and water. So the monkeys in that control group, they get along pretty good. But the monkeys in the other control group, they create a hostile living environment for them. They make it hard for those monkeys. Food and water is not easily available. Access to recreation and to their siblings is not easy available. So what the monkeys do, the monkeys stress. They bang their head against the wall. They become violent and fight their siblings, or whoever is around. And it's the same thing with humans. If we in poverty, we it makes people stress. It makes people, want to do anything to pay bills, to get the bills paid. So these people smart. They know what they're doing when they created poverty. And position themselves in the government, and created a.
Did something happen?
Want to see no human progress in. You look at these state rosters in Alabama, Louisiana, all across the country, you're going to see a majority of those public officials in the Senate and in the House, whether on the state level or federal level, the majority of them is white. You see? We know all white people are not racist, but the majority of them is white. And so, that's not fair. It's not right, and we not being properly represented. For people that's listening, y'all know y'all know this is true. You can go in Chicago right now, the inner cities right now, and you see bar rooms and liquor stores and blight on almost every block. The classrooms is overcrowded. You see a lack of funding and resources in our schools and hospitals. I read this stuff every day in local black press newspapers. But our mainstream newspapers don't want to cover a lot of this stuff. They don't really want to look into this stuff because they're not interested in solving a problem. They're not interested in to see, to learn about us as a people, the domestic violence, the crime, why is this happening? They don't talk about that in the mainstream newspapers. You got to find out this by reading the local newspapers, the local black press newspapers.
I can't hear you. If you're still talking, I can't hear you. Oh, cut out again. Sorry, family. I didn't really time dinner with the interview, and I don't eat after 7 o'clock, so that's a little too late. So I'm busy, trying to cook and eat and do this interview. So sorry I didn't time that right. I'm trying to see if he's going to come back in, and then I can re-add him again. Um, there's an issue with his internet connection. There's been an issue with it and cut in and out. So I'm just trying to give him some time to cut back in and go from there. Keep going away from the camera. Sorry. I mean, just giving you more history and not just more history, but just things that's going on currently in the prison system and the way that they're treated behind bars versus other races. You know, and the unfair. And we understand that, you know, there's injustice, there's inequality, there's all of that above. So we shouldn't be surprised that same things goes on, you know, on the other side. So, and that's what he was just trying to break down. So things like that is the reason for the whole movement in the first place. So, and why it's so important to support it. So, those who have been in a similar circumstance understand and can relate. And like I said before, people who got loved ones, there should be a desire enough to want to support anything that's going to liberate them. So, still trying to give it a little bit of time. You say you didn't realize about the local newspapers until he said it? Got you. That's why it's important for this interview. Oh, you can relate. Got you. Well, he hasn't came back yet. So I think maybe I should just end it. I said I was going to end it next time. So I think I should just end it and then come back, you know, another time. Yeah, because I'm still trying to give him a little bit of patience, you know, give him a little bit of time. So, because I know his circumstances, but I don't want to hold up other people's time and schedule. And I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time too. I'm sorry I didn't schedule this correctly, but yeah. Well, he hasn't shown up yet. All right, maybe I should just end it and we'll come back another day and we'll just come back in and we'll just go straight in. We won't have to do no introduction or anything like that because that was already done in this video. So the next video come around, we'll just continue where we picked up off of, where we left off at. We'll pick up right there. So we said drug mental he is not very just misunderstood. Got you. Well, this is why, you know, we have this movement because we're trying to heal those who need healing as well. So, well, I guess I'm gonna end it on that note. Thanks for everybody's patience, everybody who tuned in, everybody who's going to watch. Much love to everyone. I appreciate that. You know, let's stand behind this brother. Let's stand behind the movement, Decarcerate Louisiana. Let's get it, you know, statewide, countrywide, and let's support. And let's look forward to part two, where we'll really just get into it, and he'll talk about more details of the movement, exactly what they're seeking in terms of support and all the above. You can check out my Facebook, look at some of the posts. You can check them out on Facebook and see what you see so far, see if you're interested. I thank you all for tuning in. And I just want y'all to keep your heads up and keep them boots on the ground. Remember, boots on the ground equal liberation. So keep them on the ground. Peace.